Great battle at the front of the pack. Welcome back to the LTI Printing 200, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series from Michigan International Speedway. Austin Cindric leads in that 19 truck for Brad Keselowski Racing. The Kyle Busch Motorsports machine of Christopher Bell in the 4 sits second, and he's getting some pressure. Chris Neville.
Yeah, Christopher Bell really just trying to do anything he can, saying that Cindric's truck is just a little bit quicker in the center of the corner, and saying, I'm going to need some help if I can do anything. I need to wait on these guys behind him. The team's saying, be patient. Hopefully those guys can come up and help you out. The team also told him, hit the blue switch on the back straightaway. Phil, is that an alternator switch?
Yeah, I would say so, Chris.
Meanwhile, Kyle Busch continues to move up the line. Kyle now approaching the top 5 and battling Ryan Truex for that 5th spot.
He's been inside of Truex a couple of times, Vince, but just unable to complete the pass. These guys are going to need help, drafting help, in order to make moves around each other. You can see the ground that Kyle loses to Truex when he couldn't finish him off.
That's his teammate Noah Gragson behind him. If he can get in position, get a little bit of momentum, get nowhere up close to him, that would certainly help. What an amazing job that young man Austin Cindric has done since we restarted this race. He's been flawless.
Well, and you hit on it. What about Pocono? Had a crash, didn't get any laps on his truck, battled to a top 10 finish. He's got it going on right now. This team does as well. Doug Randolph has put him out there in a position to win this race, and he's taken advantage of that opportunity.
I'm not quite sure the front 3 don't wreck each other either. That's where we got to stay real smart, because, man, they're really using the front bumpers. Yeah, took the words out of my mouth right there. Just be smart with these guys right here. You see how hard they're using the front bumpers.
Didn't need the bumper that time. Christopher Bell got the move and got the draft and took it from Austin Cindric.
Cindric is coming back on the inside. What's Bubba Wallace going to do?
Bubba's going to go with Austin on the inside.
And
Bubba for the lead.
Inside, 3 wide. Can Bubba close the door for the lead? He does.
But he's slow.
Cindric and Bell touched, and Cindric got a little sideways. Somehow saved it.
Look at all the momentum Matt Crafton lost there.
10 laps to go here at Michigan.
Kyle gets to the outside of Truex, makes that work.
Kyle's right behind Christopher Bell, one of his drivers.
And Noah Gragson back there behind Matt Crafton. Here's Gragson. He's a part of this battle.
We've talked all weekend that Bubba Wallace in his comeback to this series has been strong. Everyone in the garage here said that 99 truck is good. Shane Huffman has him a great piece here, and he's doing a whale of a job driving it.
And if you're going to win this race today, you've got to make bold moves. And that 3-wide move down into turn 3 by Bubba Wallace, that was a bold move. It's got him to lead. I don't know if it's going to be enough to win the race, though.
Remember earlier we had that radio from Ben Rhodes talking about how aggressively Bubba Wallace was racing and how Bubba was being extremely aggressive. He had to be to make that move for the lead.
You have to be, guys. You have to be aggressive on the restarts. You have to be aggressive when you have an opportunity. Christopher Bell had an opportunity. He took it. He had to lead for a moment, but that slowed his momentum. That opened the door for Bubba, and here he is leading. Inside 10 to go.
If you can catch your breath for just a minute, remember there's some concerns about fuel for some of our front runners.
Here's the pass for the lead while Cindric and Bell battle. Wallace sneaks right in on the inside and closes the door on Cindric and holds on. Remember, Bubba Wallace hasn't been in the truck since Homestead of 2014. That was the season finale that year. Has been in the Xfinity Series full-time the last couple of seasons. Ran 4 races in the Cup car this year for Eric Almirola when he was out with injury.
They're consistently running laps faster than qualifying here. Down below 39 flat that time.
Bubba not getting away from Cindric. Right there, Austin Cindric looking for his opportunity to come back.
Just think about that for a second, Phil. Faster than qualifying in heavy traffic with a truck that isn't handling as good as it was earlier in this run. The tires are hot. They're slipping and sliding. You can see Matt Crafton trying to make a move on Ryan Truex to the bottom.
Yeah, Matt knows with 7 laps to go, he's not going to win the race from 5th. He has to make something happen. Get up there with that top 3 or 4.
Big picture. AB's going to try to help. Steady, back up, pull him off the corner just a little bit.
A little Kyle Busch Motorsports teamwork. Christopher Bell going to get a little bit of a push from team owner Kyle Busch. Keep an eye on that. If said Christopher back up to him a little bit, but you don't want to go backwards, do you? I mean, that's a hard one. Go backwards to go forward.
Sometimes that's what you have to do when you're racing in the draft like this. You got to give up a little on one end to get it on the other. These guys are really playing with their gas, with their throttle, the gaps between the trucks, trying to see if they can get that run.
5 laps to go. Bubba Wallace leads Austin Cindric. Christopher Bell, Kyle Busch, Ryan Truex, all in the top 5.
You can see that truck, Bubba Wallace, the 99, wiggling around in the corners. It's not a cakewalk getting through the corners in the draft. These guys are really struggling.
Well, we saw early on Wallace's truck didn't seem to be handling very well, and it has come to him, and he has put it to the front aggressively.
Yeah, he has driven the wheels off that truck. See Ryan Truex trying to make the move to the inside on Kyle Busch.
This could be Busch backing up to Truex to get a big draft, to close in on those front 2.
They're going to have to time it just right. Here he goes. Try to get by his teammate, Christopher Bell.
Busch to the inside, Bell coming around the outside. That's Truex and Crafton right behind them. Kyle gets the pass.
I think that was the best move by Christopher Bell.
Bell got into the back of Busch, and Busch had a big wiggle.
Even though it cost him a position, remember Christopher has 4 wins. Right now it's all about KBM trying to get a win.
Kyle Busch now inside of Cindric, making the challenge. This would be for second.
He has Christopher lined up behind him.
Just 3 laps to go. Bubba Wallace continues to lead. Remember, Wallace was penalized earlier back on lap 53. Crew member over the wall too soon, and they have come back with a vengeance.
Kyle wasn't able to make the pass on Cindric, and now Christopher jumps back around Kyle.
Look at Christopher Bell, look into the bottom of the racetrack, trying to size up Cindric. Bubba Wallace just all over that rear view mirror, looking, making sure he understands exactly where those competitors are.
Coming to 2 to go, 2 laps remaining. What a year it has been for Bubba Wallace. His Xfinity team shut down after just 12 starts this season, and now going for the lead again is Austin Cindric. Can he make it stick?
Is he going to have any help from Christopher Bell?
Cindric alongside of Wallace. Bell behind Wallace giving a push.
Here comes Kyle Busch to the bottom.
Wallace still out front, but barely. Cindric not giving up on the inside. Coming to 1 to go. The white flag out at Michigan. 2 miles left. Who's it going to be?
There's no room up top for Austin.
Cindric loses his positions, and Bell now goes to the inside of Wallace.
Bubba's going to fight back on the outside. Bell got a little bit loose down there.
A mile left. They're on the backstretch. Wallace has gapped Bell a little bit, but here comes Christopher Bell. Gets a shove from Kyle Busch right back to the inside. Through turn 4. Bubba Wallace is going to do it and win at Michigan in his comeback race.
Nice job. That was awesome. Good work.
Wow.
We said it would be a barn burner, and boy, it was.
That's as good as it gets. Bubba Wallace driving, I guarantee you, 90% of the laps with his eyes in the rearview mirror, watching the competition, and just using his instincts to get through the corners. And he held off those huge runs, both by Cindric and by Christopher Bell.
What a finish, and what a run. Not just from Bubba Wallace to get the win, but a great effort from Cindric. Christopher Bell was right there, Busch in the mix, and it was fantastic.
I love the fact that Cindric went after it. He probably could have rode there and finished second, but he wanted to win. He went for it. It cost him a few positions, but I love the effort.
He'll go to bed tonight saying, I gave it all I had. As will Christopher Bell. He was racing side by side with his truck owner, Kyle Busch, team owner, trying to get the win. What a great battle at the at the conclusion of this event.
Look at the damage on that right rear of Bubba Wallace. It was full contact racing down the stretch.
It was a bit of a maestro today, wasn't it?
Indeed. What a year for Bubba. I mean, it has been the ups and the downs. As we were saying, the Xfinity team that he was running for shuts down 12 races into the season, sits out for a while, and then gets an opportunity to fill in for Eric Almirola for 4 races in the Cup schedule. And he comes back in his first race back in the truck and wins.
What about this team? Second, third, and first in their last 3 races.
Chris Neville was with the crew chief.
And the crew chief, Shane Huffman, big smile on his face. Shane, talk about those emotions. You guys had that penalty early on, but then your driver had that amazing pass. Talk about those emotions.
Yeah, we actually talked about the pass before the race. You know, trucks get too wide here. It gives you a good, it's almost like a push to pass from behind, and Bubba knew the deal, you know, and he played his cards right. I honestly thought we were a sitting duck with 2 KBM Tundras sitting behind us there, you know, with the big run, but man, Bubba did an amazing job. You know, the kid needs to be in a Cup car. I mean, he's just that good, you know. Just want to thank Matt Miller, Doug Fuller, Mark McFarland, everybody at MDM Motorsports for giving us this opportunity. You know, just a huge day for us. I mean, we got 5 full-time employees on this deal, counting me, so really 4. But just you know, just want to thank the good Lord, and just a good day. Tell my kids I love them, my wife. It's just pretty special.
Congrats, well done.
You can hear the emotion in the voice of Shane Huffman, and what a job he has done as crew chief. You mentioned how small the team is, but Bubba is the 7th different driver to pilot this 99 truck, and Huffman as the crew chief has been a maestro in handling this entire group.
Yeah, and he used to drive himself, Ben, so he knows how hard this job is, and what a great job his driver did today. Bubba Wallace was perfect in getting that victory.
Bubba Wallace wins, and Christopher Bell is second. Hermie.
Yeah, Bell ends up second, but that doesn't tell the whole story of your race. You start out in traffic, you get some track position, lose it again, but it came down to those last 6-7 laps, you and your teammate trying to do something with the 19 and the 99. What was the difference those last couple laps?
Man, I don't know. I hope the fans enjoyed that one, because that was a ton of fun. Our Sirius XM JBL Tundra was pretty, it was handling really good. We just didn't seem to have the raw speed to get up there and get by him. That was a lot of fun, man. I wish I would have been able to work that inside pass a little bit better like I did the time before. I should have just moved up, but I didn't quite get there. So that's awesome for Bubba, man. That's really cool to be able to see him come back and win like that. That was a really fun race.
Christopher Bell, he's second.
Well, that's a racer. You know he wanted to win, but he also appreciated and enjoyed the competition of it. And Christopher Bell, he's won plenty, and he will win plenty more. But man, he had a good time running it today. That's good to hear.
And just think about the determination of Bubba Wallace. I mean, he don't have that many opportunities. He wanted to make sure he took advantage of this one.
The relief of victory for the crew chief, Shane Huffman. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series post-race show presented by eBay Motors. Back to Michigan in a moment. All 5 of those wins for Bubba Wallace before today had come for Kyle Busch Motorsports, and today he beat a couple of KBM drivers to get it done. Welcome to the Camping World Truck Series post-race show presented by eBay Motors. Let's go to Victory Lane with Chris Neville.
And we see Bubba Wallace getting out of the 99 truck. 2017 definitely hasn't been the year that Bubba Wallace planned for back in February. His Xfinity team had to suspend operations in late spring. You subbed in the 43 car, Eric Almirola's car and Cup, but today you get victory in the Truck Series. How sweet does this taste?
Oh, it's burning my eyes right now. It's so good. Oh, God, this is so cool. Thank you. Yeah, it's fine. God, it's been so long since I've been in victory lane, and I try to hold a positive mindset over it, and everybody in my family knows it eats at me every day, and emotional victory lane for sure. First time back in 3 years, so it's so cool. Maestro's Classic is coming on board. I'll tell you one cool thing about them. This tee right here is a cross and that's for the man upstairs. He's always in your heart. He's always riding with you. So that was big for them. Their first race got them a win. My first race back. Can't thank them enough. Can't thank New Era enough. PCR engines, it was on fire. We got a little damage there. Apologize to the 13 there. Made a bold move and cost us cost him the 51. Cost a couple trucks there, but man, this is a sweet victory. So I'll take it and then cherish this for sure.
Bubba, you had that penalty early on, but you steadily worked your way back to the front. And talking about bold moves, talk about that move down in turn 3 and 4 for the lead.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do it. I wouldn't have been able to pull that move off if everybody in MDM and Shane Huffman and his crew didn't build this truck the way we needed it to be. And they worked their tails off for this event, and it come about so late. And to see how much heart and passion they throw into this, and I can't thank them enough. It was on rails. You know, we had that little bit of damage, and it was pretty rough in traffic. And as soon as we got out to the lead, it was like, I'll sit back and let Granny Jan take the wheel.
Bubba Wallace gets it done in Michigan. Hermie.
Well, Austin Cindric, you definitely needed to get a win, and you were stepping up to the plate to get that done today. What can you do when you're out front leading at a place like Michigan when you got a bunch of hungry dogs behind you trying to get by you?
Yeah, I mean, on one hand, you got Bubba, who's very experienced, and he's out here in a one-off, so he's got nothing to lose. And then you got a guy like Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Matt Crafton behind you. And, man, that was a lot of fun. I needed a little bit of help after we dove down there to the bottom of Bubba. Maybe I should have saved it for one to go. We knew we were really good in 1 and 2, but it's one of those deals. Got to think draw tight. We're in Ford's backyard. LTI Printing, one of our huge partners this year, the title sponsor of the race. So had a lot of people here to support us, and man, we still got Bristol, Mosport, and Chicago to get in these playoffs, and we can still make it on points. But man, a win's going to be nice when it comes, and it will.
That's Austin Cindric. And Vince, if you don't think these drivers pay attention to what's going on, Austin Cindric, first thing you said, at least Bubba does not take a playoff spot away.
That's right, because this being a one-off for Bubba, not a championship contender, and that's a big break for a guy like Austin Cindric, or even for that matter for a Ben Rhodes or a Ryan Truex.
Yeah, we saw that last year when Brett Moffitt, who was not playoff eligible, won this race. Same situation. So he's exactly right. That does not take a spot away.
How about the development from Cindric, though, that we've seen from the beginning of the season? Didn't have a lot of full-body or NASCAR-style racing experience, and he has just been so impressive. It seems week after week he just gets better and better.
He really does, and we talked about the job he did at Pocono with the adversity they went through, but the job he did today with the guys he mentioned that he was racing with, Christopher Bell, one of the superstars of this series and beyond, Kyle Busch, one of the best drivers we've ever had in NASCAR, and he's right there with him. Bubba Wallace, who's a 5-time winner going into this race in the Truck Series, did a great job in the 43. Those are the guys he was racing with, and he held his own.
He's 18 years old.
Yeah, when he got over there to the back straightaway, he had some decisions to make, didn't he? There come Bubba Wallace down the inside. Do you push your way up and try to crowd the guy on the outside? He just held his line, did a great job, came up just a bit short.
You saw Jerry Baxter there from GMS come over and give Bubba a hug. They had been had worked together as crew chief and driver at Kyle Busch Motorsports, and the sportsmanship there between Austin Cindric and Bubba Wallace, great to see. Well, if you didn't like it today, you just don't like it. It was a terrific race and a great finish